Hello, I'm Brent Farris from the Beardman Studios, and I'm here to talk about mechanics. So I'm not talking about mechanics like a shotgun shooting lasers or whatever. I'm talking about mechanics like core mechanics, something that's so generic that can be applied to any kind of game, most likely a puzzle because mechanics are really good in puzzles. But I'm here to talk about those kind of mechanics. So in the last video, you probably heard me talk about a binary state system. That's something that I kind of just call it a binary state system because it has one of two states. It has a vertical or a horizontal state. And the way that this example works is that let's say that the top one is the active, and if it's horizontal, the left one is the active. So if I were to say switch this one here, I'm going to say switch. So I'm switching this one. It's going to go horizontal, and its active is 2. So what we're going to do is go through each one of these and figure out which one has an active of 2. Let's see. This one. This one here has an active of 2. So this one is going to flip to vertical because I've flipped something with an active of 2. And now this one's active state is 1 because now it's going to be like that, and its active state is now 1. So now we can try another example. Here's one that has an active state of 1. If I tap this guy here, then it's going to flip vertical, and it's going to be 1 and 3. And this one's active state is 1 now, so let me just erase this. Let me cross this guy out and cross this guy out because they're currently used over here. So if I flip this guy to be 1, this one's going to flip. This one's active state is 1 because we flipped it on the last one. This guy is actually 1 and 2. So this guy is going to flip. So let's actually, arrow's going to the wrong one. This guy is going to flip. 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 And this guy is going to flip. So you can see that it's by changing one, you're changing many inside of the board, and we're doing it based on something that is similar. So whether it's 1, a 2, or a 3, etc., we're flipping them based on that. And maybe the goal of the game is to get them all the same in the same state, horizontal or vertical. Maybe the goal is to have a player that's walking through here, and you've got to swap these, and then he moves along like the vertical ones, and the horizontal ones he moves left or right. So you can see that it can be applied to anything. So say that would be like an adventure game. The other one would be a puzzle game to get them all straightforward. But you can see that we can apply this same mechanic to multiple different games. And this is a mechanic because it's generic. I can change the case of these. I don't need 1 or 2. I can make snake and eagle or something like that. Instead of making these vertical and horizontal, I can make them buttons, so one can be up and one can be down. If I wanted to, so that I guess this would be like a platformer example. Then you would jump on top of a button, and it would cause other buttons to go up or down based on the same state. These can be absolutely anything. So you can see that this generic idea of just on and off and switching by similarities is it's a pure mechanic. We can use it in any type of game any way we want. Now we can explore that idea and make various games, whether it's an adventure game, a straight puzzle game where you're playing it on your iPad or Android or Windows Phone, or you can be doing a platformer you play where you're jumping on buttons or things like that. So you can see I got 3 genres out of one simple mechanic idea, and all 3 can produce interesting gameplay. So that's kind of what I meant by mechanic. There's 1,000 things you can come up with. It doesn't just have to be, a binary state system. It could be things with switches or levers, or you can do almost anything if you think about it. But the very core underlying thing is a system. So we'll just call this a system that affects its not only itself but other systems. So and by doing this, it can do it in various ways, because a mechanic is not an action. It's not jumping onto the button is not a mechanic. I guess in a way you could call it a mechanic, but jumping onto the button is, I will call it an action. What the button does and how it affects other mechanics or other elements in the game or the entire level itself, that is the mechanic, because it causes the player to think, it causes the player to explore, and it makes that button not just a button. It makes it kind of a puzzle or a game within itself. So, I mean, you could have a platformer where you jump on a button and then you still got to kill stuff and shoot down, enemy dragons and whatever as you're trying to affect this level to get through it, because you can't beat the horde that's coming. But that is a pure mechanic in itself, and if you take mechanics to their extreme, you'll be able to create some very interesting gameplay, and you can really build any genre on top of it, in any story or anything. So as long as you have interesting things like this to do in your game, the game is excellent, because as we know, we don't need a great story to make a great game, just need great gameplay, and mechanics drive gameplay. So thanks for watching. Until next time.